Hi, everyone. So today I actually wanted to take the topic we spoke about in a previous video a little bit further. And the previous video was about, what do you do when you've got this job that you really, really wanted, and now you're not happy or you feel disconnected from it. And I just wanted to extend it into other areas of our lives. Maybe you are at the point where you're questioning everything, not just why am I not happy in the job while it ticks all of the boxes. Maybe it's why am I feeling disconnected from people in my life? Why do I need more silence? Why am I not enjoying the conversations that I used to have? Why am I losing interest in so many things? And, sometimes it actually happens to us. It happened to me few years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago. I literally started questioning and I could not understand what was happening, because on the surface I literally had everything. I had a very successful 6-figure career, I had lovely family, nice house, we went on amazing holidays, skiing, South Africa, beach holidays, you name it. But yet I just I just couldn't really connect with that life anymore. And not even that, but there was something coming through me, this need to do something bigger than me. And I didn't have a verbiage to express that. And because I didn't have a verbiage to express it, I couldn't really find the right words to say how I was feeling and what I needed. It caused a lot of conflicts in my life. So I did kind of think that I was going through midlife crisis. But of course, now I know that it wasn't a midlife crisis. It was just a start of spiritual awakening. And normally it starts like little nudges from within us. It's just nudges that point us to a deeper understanding of ourselves. And what we can do at that stage is we can grab onto the known, leech onto our jobs. And I'm not saying, by the way, you've got to quit your job, but we've got to try to hold on to everything we know and suppress that feeling, telling us ourselves we should be happy, we should be grateful, we should just enjoy life as it is. But actually, what happens then, we start disconnecting from that, from our soul, from our true authentic selves. And that can lead not just to even emotional distress, but also it can also actually physically impact our health. So I just wanted to kickstart that. And I wanted to pass over to Sarit and ask if you ever had an experience like that in your life, and what did you do about it?
Obviously I'm here, so obviously I had it. I just wanted to maybe frame it a little bit because it's a personal experience, but basically when we're putting words like spiritual awakening and stuff like that, it sometimes does not resonate with a lot of people, because if not, everybody was talking about it, and we're still a small group that is actually talking about it. But when we're talking about midlife crisis and stuff like that, people are more open to a conversation. But if you think about midlife crisis, it's in the middle of your life. It's part of the nature of how long we are starting to live on the face of the earth. That is actually the universe is asking you a question. And spiritual awakening, basically what the universe is asking you to remember something that you used to have. That is basically what spiritual awakening is. It's remembering who you are. Okay, so we can come to that point either by three things. Okay, one is that we didn't get everything that we wanted, and it caused a lot of internal suffering. For every person, that internal suffering looks different, but we are saying we will not live like that anymore. Second, that you got everything that you wanted, but on paper you should be happy, or you should have peace, or whatever you're looking for, but you're not. And the third one is that you got actual illness, something that is really hard circumstances to go through. This basically every story looks different, but those are the three main categories that would actually drive you to that point. And spiritual awakening, and I will put it this way: spiritual awakening, you were born, there is literally only one person that is you, thinks like you, look like you. Think about it, how you're talking to every kid book that has the actual concept that telling kids they are special, but they don't have to win an Olympic, or to have a golden medal, because we're all different. And through how we grow up in society, we cover that up. And the only thing spiritual awakening is asking you is to be you. And I find myself with constant conversation with my friends, telling them there is just one you, one you. Why wouldn't you want to be you? Why is that not good enough to be you, to express yourself? And that suffering is the gap that we have between who we are to what actually we end up being. So and I can share my personal story, but every gap from that is internal suffering. And the only thing that we're doing is trying to narrow it down, because when you're being you, that is your happy place. But we forgot who we are. And that's what we're talking through all our conversations, just trying to help you understand who you are. And it's also very important in the workplace, because we currently spend most of our time in the workplace. So we are trying to help you figure it out in the workplace, but it goes to all over your life. I'm personally, from the minute I was born to this earth, always believed there is something bigger. And I always believed that we are connected, and I love human connections, and I'm all about people and people experience, and I love to see people and to get to know people. And I'm doing this because I believe this is the best way that I can share what I love with everybody. And, to get out of the spiritual closet, that's a thing. That's literally a thing. So I took the last leap of faith, and I'm here. And spiritual awakening is only asking you to be you, Lena. It's basically what he's asking you to be.
Yeah, and sometimes it is the hardest thing, right? I mean, like, be who you are. What the hell does it even mean? Do you even know who we are? For me, I'm still figuring that out. I've been on this journey, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years or so. And initially I started it because actually Dr. Jody Spencer, I think it's his phrase, he says, only when the fear of staying the same is greater than the fear of the unknown, that's when the true change is possible. So for me, it was mostly the fear of staying the same. And then through that, I started actually understanding that who I think I am versus the real me, there is that gap, like Sarit was talking about. And that gap is what was causing me. I mean, back then I didn't think about it as suffering, but it was causing me like more disconnects. Like I would look at other people and the things they were interested in, and I just couldn't figure out why would I not be interested in, let's say, even baking with kids or just doing like things that I would deem normal people wanted to do. I started seeking more spiritual books, going to events like with Dr. Jody Spencer and other people. I really wanted to understand me so I could bridge that gap between the real me and the me that I've made up, that I've built so many walls and all of this layers and this beliefs and the conditioning around me. But it all started really with me feeling this disconnect. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because a few times when I speak at the events, people would come up to me and they would express the same kind of the same thing that they're experiencing that I've experienced a few years ago. Like they're just not really resonating with anything. So my suggestion is, if that's what you are feeling, when you start questioning your beliefs, when instead of watching the programs or the news or the Netflix, you really start going on a YouTube maybe and looking signs of, I don't know, like, who am I? What is my purpose? If you're asking yourself, what is my purpose? Then it's a definite signs that it's something within you that's waking up. It's like your soul is talking to you. And believe me, the longer you ignore it, the louder that cry will get. And eventually you've got to answer it, because if you don't answer it, you will literally self-sabotage your entire life. And I know how hard it can be going against the grain, where your family, your friends, they look at you like, what are you doing with your life? And you can't explain it. So I've been through that, and I just really wanted to bring that up, because I hope, it can help someone to understand that they're not going crazy and there's nothing wrong with them. They're actually embarking on a beautiful journey of self-discovery.
So I wanted also to say, we said we are going to be the friend that you never had, that crazy person with the new idea, with the crazy out there ideas. So if you were my friend, and that was the question that you're going to bring me, and I would know that spiritual awakening would rub you the wrong way. So I would ask you who you are. That's one question. The second of all, spiritual awakening is all about empowering you to be your self-guru. I know that a lot of the time when we are saying spirituality, people think I joined a cult. And I'm going through training right now, and one of the biggest fear is that one of us will open a cult. But anyway, a cult is when somebody else is telling you what to do. Spiritual awakening is only about finding who you are. So if that title does not resonate with you, just simply ask who you are, who you want it to be. Like I wanted to be a singer, I cannot carry a tune, but it's not about what I wanted to be, it's what I wanted to feel when I'm there, still singing in my kitchen and in the shower, but it's not about the singer. So remember who you want it to be. And you are your guru. It's all about empowering yourself. It's stop listening to society and people and families and titles and all those expectations that has been putting on you. We haven't put into this earth to carry so many things. It's not. It's about being ourselves. And that's the only question nobody's ever asking us. So if you are my friend, I would ask you, who do you want to be? And then I would help you be your own guru and show you that there is so much power of showing up as yourself. It's not going against anything, being yourself, okay? It's just bringing you more power because you're going to achieve more stuff, more fluently, less energy because you would have less debate because you will show up as the world intended you to be. So those, if you are my friend, those are the questions that I would answer, that I would ask you, and I would ask you to complete,
Compliment?
No, contemplate
On.
Thank you. Contemplate about those questions and see what answers are coming to you.
Yeah, for sure. And, and there's common things, like common traps we can fall into, and I certainly did. And two of the main ones, if what we are saying is resonating with you, if you are questioning many things in your life, is in asking yourself, what is my purpose? Why am I here? One of them is guilt. And I mean, especially as a parent, because I felt like I needed more time to isolate, like to be on my own, whether maybe to meditate or to quietly read a book. I couldn't do things like I used to do. And I started putting like unrealistic expectation on myself and trying to overcompensate. But it wasn't coming from the right place. And that's why I've developed this kind of a saying, which I remind myself, I've got to be selfishly selfish, right? To invest in myself, because often, especially as parents, we giving from an empty cup. We're just doing things for other people because we think that's what's going to make them happy. But at the end of the day, if we don't have our own back, if we don't prioritize ourselves, firstly, nobody will prioritize us. And second of all, we can't give that love and attention and support to someone else if we don't give it to ourselves. It all starts with us. So guilt is one thing. If you feel that, get rid of it. And the second big thing was trying to convince, especially like, your partners or your husbands, your wives, whatever, to understand you. And, or like, if you're already like you like maybe meditating, you've got some spiritual practice, to join you in it if they are not really open to it. That does not work. Trust me. I've also tried that and I learned it the hard way. So it's your personal journey. This journey of self-inquiry, this self-discovery is a very, very personal, unique journey. And it's not up to anyone to really validate you, to join you on it. It's up to you to decide who you want to be at the end of the day.
Lena, can I share what I think about what you just said?
Absolutely.
So the minute you understand that you don't even know yourself, so being a parent, it drives to guilt because you think you know what other people need, and you end up giving, but not necessarily what they need, trying to explain to other people what you're doing. There is small amount special people that you can do that, and you will know who those people are. But what you understand is the same as the universe is asking you who you want to be. Your kids, your spouse, your mom, they have their unique opportunity to be them, and you need to start asking them what they need from you. So with me and my kids, I had like a big title, what a good mom should be. And I was a CEO, and I was working a lot of hours, but I always had the saying, I'm doing the best I can. But I also figured out that I need to ask them what they want, and not necessarily what I put on the title of a big mom that drove me to guilt, that drove me to everything you said was the right thing, because they maybe need other stuff. So when we are figuring ourselves out, and I understood that I don't know me, my thing around in the world was that people around me, they will get through me. First, the respect to be who they are. I don't need to make everybody see what I see, or necessarily understand or think that I know what they want. They have total freedom. And if we don't, go along, that's also fine. I'm not about it. And especially with my kids, I'm asking them what they need, and I'm making sure that I'm talking to them about happiness, about who they are, and all of those stuff, because I understand that as their mom, my job is to empower them, and I will not be able to empower them if I'm not doing that for myself. So if I'm decided to be who I am, and that is the conversation I have with myself, and it's come very authentic to them. When they don't understand me, I'm telling them, you don't have to understand me, just respect, this is who I am. To ask them who you are, this is the situation, who do you want to be? How can I help you be that person? What are you missing? Talking about stuff like happiness and stuff like that. You know what? We took it far away from business, but as a leader, I used to do the same. And people are still calling me. I'm a consultant right now, and I usually ask them, who do you want to be? What do you want? And the only thing I can is point them to that person, and making sure that I help them a little bit put space, like with the promotion and people pleasing. We react, and we forget that there is one opportunity for us to be us. And that's what I'm doing through understanding who I am.
Exactly, because and also the better we understand ourselves, the better we understand others, right? And in a work environment, you obviously work together with other people, because if you so, I think, on this journey, you become more present to your own needs. Who do you need to become to be the better person? Who do you need to become to be in integrity with yourself? And that's when you start understanding that other people have their own values. They've got to live in integrity with their lives, and they've got their own thoughts and emotions that actually have nothing to do with you. So then, instead of judging and comparing and competing, we actually start becoming more accepting of others. We start collaborating and understanding that there is more than enough for everyone. So actually the journey within yourself is not a selfish thing. It's the most selfish thing that I believe we can do for ourselves, for our children, and for people we connect with.
The spiritual awakening is only asking you, who do you want to be? And it's opportunity that I think we should hug through a lot of titles that have been invented through the centuries, like midlife crisis. So instead of buying a car, just figure out who you are. As I said, take yourself for coffee. I'm telling you, you have amounts of fun.
Instead of buying a car, figure out who you are. I love the rhyme. I think that should be like the title of the video. I love it. Anything you else want to add?
No, I think we're good. But if you have questions, obviously we're here. Obviously, we want to hear from you. And until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.